back to another episode of Breaking Boundaries, the world's premier podcast for international students. And I feel like if I say that often enough, it'll come true. We are honored today to have our guest, David Danenberg from Carnegie Mellon University. David is the Senior Associate Director of Admissions and Financial Aid at Carnegie Mellon with the Heinz College of Information Systems and Public Policy. David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Great to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity to chat. We had a chance to catch up not long ago in person, so it's always good to reconnect with friends, new and old.
Yes, international education is a small world, and it's fun to reconnect with folks because we all have this general belief that the flow of students across borders confers knowledge and wisdom to everyone involved in the entire process, from domestic students to international students to professors and administrators at universities. So, David, I want to talk about Carnegie Mellon briefly, and then I really want to dive into your program because it's very unique. So tell us first about Carnegie Mellon. It has an amazing reputation in the US, but fill us in on where it is and the types of student it serves.
Yeah, absolutely. So Carnegie Mellon University, 28th top university in the world, according to Times Higher Education. And so maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, and that's okay if you haven't. We are here for everybody. Want to educate folks on what we have to offer because we do have a lot to offer. Carnegie Mellon is located in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is in the state of Pennsylvania, strategically located where about 7 hours drive to New York City, 2 hours to Cleveland, 3 hours to Washington, D.C. So our location is really pivotal for what we're able to offer. Even we're only maybe 2.5, 3 hours to Niagara Falls. So very close, lots of great things to offer to our students. Now, Carnegie Mellon's this really interesting global research powerhouse. We're known for strengths in computer science, data, technology, but we're also known for the arts and for the sciences, for social good. So this unique interdisciplinary university that has a lot to offer. About 16,000 students, roughly 50-50 when it comes to undergraduate and graduate. And there are 7 colleges within the university. You've got the College of Arts and Sciences, right? You have the College of Engineering, Computer Science. I represent the Heinz College, which is the School of Public Policy and the School of Information Systems, which happens to have a name. We are the Heinz College, named after Senator John Heinz, who Teresa Heinz remains on our board of directors, and we're really proud to continue and carry that name and his dedication to public service and public good. But bringing in all of these new kind of worldly technology skills that are needed in the public sector. And so here at the Heinz College, we have a variety of different programs. They're everything from public policy management to information systems and management, which are the title schools. We've got a cybersecurity program, information security. We have our healthcare analytics and IT. We just recently rolled out an AI systems management program. Can't come to Carnegie Mellon without saying the word AI on any given day. So we made it permanent here at Heinz College. And we also have arts programs, arts management, and even entertainment industry management. So a lot of really cool types of programs that we're able to offer. And really, while it sounds like this strange conglomerate, the idea is really to bring the disciplines together using data science, technology, and evidence-based decision making. We're teaching our students skills that are unique in management, unique in being able to use the data to tell a story, and then really being able to apply it to your specific field. And our students have mandatory internships for all of their degrees, as well as capstone projects, so working with clients to really get their hands dirty and upon graduation say, I know what it is, exactly what I'm doing. And when I talk about these degrees, they're to specify, they're all master's degrees. And that's one of the other things that sets Heinz College apart from any other college at the university is that we don't offer any bachelor's degrees. So 100% of our resources are for graduate students only. And so you get this really deep dive into a professional master's degree.
That's helpful because undergraduate and graduate programs, particularly in the US, often have fundamentally different models. And to try to plug one into another is often a bit cumbersome. So it makes perfect sense that you exist to serve graduate students. I want to dive in a little deeper. You mentioned internships. Everyone has an internship. These programs, especially things like applied data science, getting your hands dirty, that experiential component today is perceived rightly so as a core to the learning experience. Tell us a little bit more about these internships. What type of companies are students working for? What type of work are they doing for these companies? You have the advantage of Pittsburgh being a thriving tech hub, but I'll let you speak a little bit more about the types of internships students pursue.
Sure. Well, I think, when you're looking at graduate school, and you talked about Pittsburgh being where it's located, you don't choose a school based on its location because our students, when they do complete their internships, are completing them across the entire United States and even outside of the country as well. So it's the relationships that you're able to build with employers. For us as the university, we help to build those relationships, whether it's through our alumni networks or through our career services office. But we're really trying to provide you with these world-class skills that you can then take and apply in the internships. And so our students are working with leading organizations, your Amazons, your Deloittes, your Booz Allen Hamiltons, you're looking at Netflix, you're looking at Kaiser Permanente, RAND, the US government itself. So you've got a huge wide range of different types of organizations that we partner with. And what I always like to say to students, our secret weapon as a college is our career services team, because again, because of this uniqueness of our college where you have graduate studies only, we have a team of career professionals who it is their job day in and day out to make relationships with employers for our specific degree programs. And so you have one advisor who is dedicated to each program, fostering the relationships with employers, being able to carry on those relationships with our alumni that they made when they were students. And so oftentimes internships and even job opportunities are coming to our career services center before they even end up on LinkedIn or before they end up on Handshake. And so our students are being able to place themselves at a very high rate, sometimes even as early as a couple weeks into the semester, which we host career fairs 1 week in to the semester.
That's amazing. That would be remarkable to have your internship set up on day 8.
Right.
Yeah, so that you can relax and think about everything else. And speaking of everything else, on the academic side, you mentioned that there are programs like applied data science, the new AI systems management. I imagine there's a fair amount of overlap between some of these programs. And I know that Heinz has a multidisciplinary approach. So could you speak to a little bit about how you think of the multidisciplinary approach in the classroom?
Yeah, that's a great question. So with Heinz, again, you've got all of these programs, but where they really come together is the core curriculum. And the core curriculum is focused on data, technology, and impact. And really, it's making sure that you understand the technological needs to be able to take all of the data that you're using and then apply it and make that impact in a day-to-day setting. And so our students are gaining skills regardless of degree program in management. They're gaining skills in accounting and finance. They are gaining skills in even negotiation. They're taking classes like acting for managers. They are learning opportunities such as decision-making under uncertainty. How do you make a decision when you have no idea what the outcomes of those decisions are going to be or what the impact of the economy or your field might be? So really giving you a chance to think broadly and then being able to apply it specifically.
Oh, can I audit the decision making under uncertainty class?
That is, you might end up on the wait list for that one.
This is great because this is, when done poorly, applied data science, to use one example. If you don't wrap it in this holistic perspective, you can exit your university program with a one-dimensional skill set. And it sounds like at Carnegie, particularly with Heinz, you're focusing on multiple dimensions, not just the numbers themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also really want to make sure that you can make the connectors between what you're learning and the application of it. And so regardless of if there's your capstone project or your internship that we have, almost every day our faculty are using real world current scenarios to be able to help connect the dots and say, how can we fix this? Or what recommendations would you make? And I think it's also really cool to mention that some of these core classes, you're not just taking in your own bucket. You're not just taking it with students from the School of Public Policy. You're taking it with the art students, with the AI students, with the cybersecurity students. And we have a very diverse student body. So students are coming with everywhere from 0 years of work experience to 10 or 15 years of work experience. And so the conversations in the classroom go everywhere from very idealistic to grounded in reality. And then you have folks who are coming from domestic locations and from international locations. And so the difference in culture plays a role in the conversation. And so you have a lot of really cool conversations that happen in the classroom and giving students an idea to really think about the way that they're applying their skills.
I'll give you one example about how this type of diversity helps in the classroom. I used to teach a course on medical law and ethics to pre-med students at a university in Chicago. And I had a portion where I tried to explain the difference between the European socialized health insurance model versus the American quasi-privatized model. And it was always a really boring part of the lecture. And finally, at one semester, I had a student from the Netherlands who raised her hand, and she gave a much better explanation of how health insurance worked in Europe. And so from that day on, I found I would just pick my international students to teach anything that was relevant to their world because it added to the richness of the program. So I've seen that in action, international students saying, no, 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 this is how this thing works.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, we've got 72% of our incoming class over the past 3 years are international students,
Wow.
coming from over, I think it was 49 countries total over those past 3 years. And so you really get a diverse perspective. And of course, we have nearly all states represented as well within the United States. So it's just incredible the types of conversations that happen, the learning, the relationships that you're able to make.
That's remarkable. Okay, I am auditing this course. So you got nearly 3 out of 4 students at Heinz are from overseas. My guess is this is a highly competitive admissions process. So would you have any advice to those who are listening, who are really interested in the program, on making sure that they're giving their best application possible?
Yeah, certainly. Well, so the first thing that I'll say is do not let a program that is competitive dissuade you from applying, because you never know what skills a program is actually looking for. And you should make sure, from my opinion, that when you are applying to a program that they use a holistic model to be able to make an admissions decision. So it's not just purely your test scores, it's not purely your grades, it's also the letters of recommendation that you submit, it is your essay, it is the opportunity to be able to tell your story, why this place, why now. So make sure that you give yourself grace to apply, that you put your best foot forward. Certainly, good grades are important. Test scores, it's become a little bit more optional these days, but I think they're extremely important because they help us as a university to say, students who are taking certain exams, we're able to see their success rate in the classroom at a different rate than those who are not taking exams. We also often have the chance to provide merit-based scholarship. And so within that criteria for the merit-based scholarship, we also are using the variety of different exams that are out there. So for those who are thinking about how can I fund my education, that's another piece that you want to think about as well. But it can be competitive. I encourage you to be an active participant in the admissions process. some people call us admissions officers. I hate that title. We're admissions advisors. I want to be able to advise you and give you all of the information based on what I learned from you to put your best foot forward. It is an open conversation. I will be honest with you when saying, hey, you know what? Those grades aren't that great. Here's some things that you can do to strengthen your application. So make sure that you reach out to the admissions office. Ask them to chat with you about your background and your profile, because we do want to see you being successful. We're the Office of Admission, not rejection. And it's really important for us that we can provide you with the necessary advice to be able to make you a successful applicant.
That's great. I'm scrubbing the word officer from my vocabulary because I have been guilty of using that term. But yeah, your incentive is to match people to the right programs. And the merit-based scholarship opportunities, by the way, is very unique as well. Just another unique component of what Carnegie Mellon has to offer. So, David, I appreciate all the overview of your program, the advice for applicants. But I'm curious, you've been in this game for a while. What brought you into international education?
Well, I wasn't funny enough to have my own TV show where I'm running around eating food and talking to a camera. So I figured what was going to be the next best? I'll jump into international education where I can travel the world and chat with students and focus on my passion, which is education. I actually studied my bachelor's in education. I was a special education major. I was in the schools for a short period. But while I was an undergraduate student, I was a tour guide. And I learned that you could travel the United States at the time, get paid to do so, chat with people. I love having conversations. I love breaking barriers. I love to learn about new people and new opportunities. So I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Through that relationship, I learned that there was a master's in higher education administration with a focus on internationalization. So I took that focus of internationalization and comparative education. I had my internship during the master's program at the Fulbright office in London. I did a study abroad in Italy, and I kind of learned that there was also this international education world, and I really caught the admissions bug. Almost 15 years later, here I am. I've now been with 3 different universities. Each are fantastic in their own right, each offering amazing opportunities for international students. And, I continue to be amazed by the relationships that I build, the connections that I have, and the things that I learn from our international students.
Oh, I appreciate you sharing, but you've raised one final question I have to ask. It sounds like you were an aspirational, let's say, Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace. You travel a lot for your work. Have you had a particularly interesting culinary experience overseas, where you tasted something that either lit your hair on fire or may have been really out of the ordinary?
Oh my gosh. Wow. So, the first thing that comes to mind was jellyfish in China.
Oh,
That was new for me. It was cold. It was slimy. It was crunchy, but it was delicious. I have eaten at some exquisite restaurants. I do follow Anthony Bourdain's recommendations. Phil Rosenthal, somebody feed Phil. If I'm out there, actually, I learned just a few weeks ago in one of the newer seasons that's coming out. He'll be in the Philippines, and we were there at the exact same time. And
oh, very cool.
I'm so annoyed that we didn't cross paths, because I certainly would have had a conversation with him and said, let's eat together. Let's break bread.
I would eat jellyfish. Was it
Yeah.
was it served with something else? What is jellyfish served with?
It was just in a sauce.
Okay.
And then you eat it, I think, with rice and the other accoutrements on the Lazy Susan, right? If
Yeah.
you've ever been to China, when you go to a restaurant, you eat. Like,
Yes.
you eat. And so it was one of the many things that I could put on the plate.
Well, I have to confess, my aspiration too would be to be sort of a traveling, have a travel TV show. Probably not built around food, maybe more of a Rick Steves generalist. But David, it's not too late. Maybe we can someday hit the road together.
Let's do it.
Oh, well, David, thank you so much for your time. For those of you who are curious to learn more about the programs at Heinz, in the show notes, I'll have a link to more information for international students. As David noted, don't let the competitive nature of the programs daunt you. I would apply because you never know what the program is looking for. You never know if you might be a right fit. But otherwise, David, thank you again so much for your time, and I hope you have a great summer.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, John. I appreciate it. And to everyone out there, take care.